Unmasking in relationships. We know that autistic masking can be a big barrier to authentic connection. And where do you need connection more than in an intimate relationship with your partner? So in this video, we're looking at unmasking in intimate relationships, including why it's important and some steps you can take to do it successfully. Part 1 of the video will focus on unmasking in an existing relationship, where you already have a partner, but now you're only just starting to come to terms with your own autism and what being a more authentic version of yourself might look like. And part 2 will look at the process of finding a new partner while you're still in the middle of the unmasking self-discovery process. Hi everyone, Paul Micallef here from Autism from the Inside. I make weekly videos sharing the human side of autism, so make sure you hit subscribe to get the latest content. Okay, so part 1, unmasking in an existing intimate relationship. So you've probably got a sense already that unmasking is important. You want to understand yourself better. You want to show up more in your relationship. You want more authentic connection to build a genuine, lasting relationship. One of the biggest challenges, though, is that there is always an inherent risk to unmasking. That's why it's called being vulnerable, because there is a risk of getting hurt in that situation. But at the same time, we know that that genuine connection is really only possible if you show up authentically in your relationship. And this is true of unmasking in general, in society, with all relationships. But when it is your partner, the stakes are significantly higher here. It can feel like there's potentially so much more to lose, but at the same time, there's also a lot more to gain. And I'm going to guess that probably if you're in this situation already, then you've probably got the feeling that moving forward is the only option. You can't go backwards in the self-discovery process. I know these things about myself now. How do I continue to be more authentic going forward? So it's not really a question of do I or should I show these new things I'm discovering about myself to my partner. It's more a matter of how do I do that in a way that is going to strengthen our relationship. So let's look at 4 steps of how to do that. Step number 1 is to start with yourself. A self-discovery process is ultimately about you. Your partner doesn't need to know about it. Your partner doesn't need to be on board with it. If it's helpful for you, then you're growing yourself on the inside, knowing that you will eventually share what you've discovered with your partner at an appropriate time. So often partners are supportive at the early stages of autistic self-discovery, but the reason I'm mentioning this one is because even if they're not, even if you're a bit hesitant as to how your partner might react to even the thought that you might be autistic, then you can still make significant progress with step 1. Step 2 is to take it slowly. What have you discovered about yourself that would be appropriate to share? Is there a good time where sharing would be well received? Is there something small and convenient that you can ask for where your partner is likely to say, yeah, sure, of course I can do that for you? The emphasis with starting to open up, starting to share more about yourself, starting to ask for more of what you need. The key with all of that is to take it slowly. Do what feels good, do what feels appropriate, do what seems to be the best thing in the moment. And the reason I say that is because there is probably quite a large amount that your partner will understand and can support you with straight away. The conflict, or at least potential conflict, comes from when you want to share something, you want to ask for something, and your partner is less receptive or less understanding, less supportive, and you're feeling a lot of pushback. This is the part where conflict can really escalate if we're not careful. You might be excited about your self-discovery, you really want your partner to understand, but we can't push them to understand before they're ready. So take it slowly means it's often very helpful, especially in the beginning, to keep it within this nice, helpful, we're both on the same team and we can easily work together kind of area before we push into the conflict zone. Step 3 is to find external support. For example, maybe you have so many incredible self-discoveries and you want to tell someone and you're trying to tell your partner and they're just either not interested or not getting it or not giving you the emotional reaction that you're looking for. It's possible, even likely, that at some point your partner's not going to be able to meet that need for you. And as I mentioned before, trying to get them to meet that need if they're not doing very well at it is a great way to increase unnecessary conflict in the relationship. So instead, the strategy here is find external support. Who can you talk to? Who will understand? Who can help you figure these things out? It might be a different friend or family member. It might be others in the autistic community. If you're feeling supported through the process and you have others around you who you can talk with and who are there to help you work through it, you're going to need that support from your partner significantly less, which puts a lot less pressure on them and helps you to focus on number 2, which is take it slowly without trying to push them too far outside their comfort zone. And finally, step 4 is to play the long game. If your goal is a successful long-term relationship, then that's the most important thing. And having everything resolved today or this week or this month is secondary to that. One of the most common situations that I see is that the partner doesn't get on board with the process as quickly as you would like. It's really exciting. You want to share a lot straight away, and it tends to be too much for the other person. And it's not necessarily that they will never understand. It's that it's a big change very quickly, and they're really not there yet. I find a helpful strategy in this regard is to remember that everyone is on their own journey. So you are going through your own discovery process and your own acceptance process. And there's probably parts of yourself that you're discovering that you don't like. And, that the process of accepting those and integrating those is going to take a little bit of time. It's similar for your partner. They are receiving a whole bunch of new and surprising and unexpected information from you that is really hard to process and may take a little bit of time. Crucially, may take more time for them to process than it is taking for you. So playing the long game is focusing on the eventual positive relationship that you want in the future. You want the connection, you want to be understood, you want to be supported, and so we're moving towards that goal, but we're not there yet. I've heard so many stories of people who have pushed their partner too quickly, and the partner basically says, I can't do this. I just can't do this. What you're asking me, I love you, I care about this relationship, but what you're asking from me is not something that I can do. And setting your partner up for failure in that way by asking them today for something they can't do today, that can cause a huge amount of unnecessary stress in the relationship. So again, this is why steps 2 and 3 of finding external support and taking it slowly enough that your partner can come along for the ride with you is a good strategy to ensure that you're giving your relationship the best chance of success. Obviously, it's a challenging process, and one of the hardest things to deal with is that we want to be in control. We want the relationship to work. We want to do everything we possibly can to keep a good, healthy, functioning relationship. But unfortunately, that whole way of thinking is more aligned with the masking process of changing myself and doing more than I'm expected to do in trying to compensate and force the relationship to work. A more authentic way, and a much more vulnerable and more challenging way, is to step back a little bit and recognize what I need and take off the mask and show up authentically, and then say, I've done everything that I can on my half of this relationship, and now I have to let go and hope that my partner can come along for the journey as well. You've probably heard this phrase that love isn't love until you give it away. And I really think that captures the vulnerability perfectly, because once we give it away, we have no control as to whether it comes back or not. We hope it comes back, and we expect that it will come back, and we have optimism that we know our partner well enough to know that they're going to do everything that they can to reciprocate. But ultimately, when you do eventually receive that love back, it's a free gift from the other person. And you didn't make it happen, you allowed it to happen, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm getting way too theoretical here. So I might leave it there, I think, for today. In summary, those 4 steps were to start with yourself, take it slowly, find external support, and play the long game in terms of fostering the long-term positive nature of your relationship. So I hope you found that valuable. For more information, you might like to check out my other videos on masking, or for more practical steps around self-awareness and communication, I have an online EQ 101 course. And of course, for more personal one-on-one help, I'm also available for online life coaching. So I'll make sure all the links for all those things are in the description. Thanks again for watching. I hope you found this valuable. Stick around next week for part 2, where we look at finding a new partner while you're still in the middle of the unmasking process. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, and I will see you again next week. Bye.